This is an absolute gladiator battle right here. Whoa! Explodes that back bumper!
The same shit, man.
Look at this, it's a sold out crowd. Welcome to the streets of Long Beach. This is Formula Drift, and we are on the streets of Long Beach for the first round, celebrating 20 years of FD, baby!
This season, 2023, is so important to so many drifting fans because what began in 2004 in Atlanta, now kicking off here in Long Beach, our 20th season, 20 years.
In 2005, we started doing demonstrations on the Long Beach Grand Prix street course, and it ended up becoming really, really popular. Everybody loved it. And we had our first event that next year. Here we are taking this street sport of drifting, born and raised in Japan, and turned into something more radical here in the United States, but now we have this opportunity to actually drift on city streets.
Hello everybody, and welcome back to the streets of Long Beach for the first round of the Formula Drift Pro Championship.
We automatically got access to an audience that we wouldn't normally have, and for fans of drifting, prior to that in Southern California, we only had Irwindale Speedway. So now you have the 20th year, you have more champions, old and new, competing in this 20th season. And then you've got the fact that this is going to be the biggest event that we've ever done, period.
Long Beach is such an iconic spectacle, kind of the Monaco Grand Prix of drifting.
There's so much cool, high energy and hype around the event.
What's up, bud?
Thank you so very much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
It's cool to see the fans really embrace it. They get up close and personal.
I love this place.
We're at the first ever Rockstar Energy Pit Stop Lounge, and we've got Fredric Aasbo taking a look around.
So custom Rockstar helmet, that's sick. So much history too. Before my time, Tanner was racing for the team. Rockstar, you nailed it.
And then we have the parade just cruising the streets, you know. We were talking about how much electricity, you can feel it, man, the fervor, just the anticipation, you know, of this season.
The fact that you're in this downtown shadow and you get to have these crazy, loud, wild cars ripping through the streets. The sound banging off the walls, the sunset, the great weather. It's really, really hard to beat that from an experiential standpoint.
You really feel like, all right, this is happening. Like we're putting on a show. You know, we won the championship the last couple of years, and Ryan won this event last year. So I think there's a pretty high expectation for us.
This is a year to watch the most talented drifters in the world. Fredric Aasbo defending the title. Matt Field, a championship contender last year. Three-time champion. Chris Forsberg, Von Gitt Jr., Chelsea Denofa. And James Deane's back, man. How cool is that? And then you got Brian Tuerck, man. He won the championship. He got #1 qualifier, got the win, the perfect event last year. Can he do it again?
I won my first event ever in Formula Drift here back in 2009. The bad times I've had here were bad. I wrecked my car straight off an entire wall. Got a concussion, chassis smoke. I don't let those crashes bother me, obviously. We qualified first last year and finished the event first.
Gets the win.
Can we repeat? 100% we can.
Just keep pushing. I hear you.
You know, the team and I have developed together. It's like everything that I need is getting put into this car. Yeah, there's nothing like driving such a well-prepped car that is capable of winning the championship and that is so fine-tuned and almost an extension of yourself. The car feels phenomenal. It took me like 4 laps to really get comfortable on track. And I think would be, be a threat for a win. I mean, the goal this year is to just hope that we can stay out of trouble and end up winning the damn championship, man.
Here we go, Ryan Tuerck.
The judges want the wow factor high, and that makes the margin for error very small.
He's exploding towards his first outside zone.
Ooh.
Perfect. Perfect.
Yo, Ryan Tuerck is back at it. He wants it. He wants the championship that has escaped him.
I let it all hang out
and it's definitely one of the best laps, if not the best lap I ever had.
98.33. A damn near perfect score for Ryan Tuerck.
Is this a master of Long Beach or what? I'm taking my hat off for Ryan. That was amazing. Buddy, good job. I'm so proud of you, dude. Yeah.
Crazy, #1 qualifier 2 years in a row. Everybody's stoked and makes you confident, but like you gotta even out the highs and the lows, and today's not the day that's gonna win you a championship. It's all about tomorrow.
Who's gonna win the championship?
Anybody can win, but the target, the star, is on Fredric Aasbo's back. He's your 3-time and defending 400 champion.
Your new champion, Fredric, the Norwegian Hammer, Aasbo!
Whereas our 2021 championship at Irwindale was very much a celebration of what we had achieved, 2022 was more anticlimactic. Going into Irwindale, Matt Field was the man to beat, and then he knocked himself out.
Matt Field is out.
Yeah, and even though we went on to win the event and clinched the championship, it's like the air went out of the balloon. It felt like we were celebrating someone else's loss more than our winning another championship. Looking back, we've had 2 incredible seasons. Back-to-back champion. We've had a lot of fun. We've won some events, we've lost some events. And even though I'm trying not to look back at that too much, it's always in the back of my head that we really want to repeat that. But now the expectations are as high as they can be.
Here we go, Fredric Aasbo, your defending champion, going against Mike Power. Fredric Aasbo out to the outside zone. Mike Power coming up way short there. Fredric Aasbo not all the way to the outside zone 3, but Power unfortunately not helping himself.
Freddie's still sort of warming up. Normal for him on the first weekend. He just starts off a little bit conservative and slowly ramps up the aggressiveness, which just is right on a track like this with such high consequence of crashing.
Fredric Aasbo is going against Trenton Beecham. Don't just count somebody out. You know, Trenton Beecham, he could ruin your day.
He's not going all the way wide to the zones.
I don't know, man. That's a lot of room there between Freddie and Trent. I'll tell you right now, Fredric needs to step up if he wants to win this event. We know what Freddie's capable of.
You're just not using this whole track. Yeah, copy that.
I was a little bit stressed. I felt the pressure.
That's clearly what's going on if you're just not comfortable doing it.
Yeah.
And it could be that the car's just not comfortable for some reason.
I think it's that. Yeah.
You've been anxious all week, so.
Yeah. There's just something about this first event of the season. This is such a difficult track to really master.
I still have lots to prove. It's harder to find that raw hunger because you've been there before.
All right, we got some more work to do.
It's very much a game of being in the moment when it matters.
Keep your mind the way you are right now.
Yeah. I'm here to learn from everything I've done well and bad in the past and apply it all out here and see where it takes us. I think it's cool to see where this sport has come since I've been in it from the beginning, and like how we were tuning cars and setting up cars to where it is now, where everybody is just so elevated. My first FE event, I was making 330 horsepower and barely making it around the track. And now I'm driving a 1,000 horsepower 4-cylinder, factory backed by Toyota, and with an extremely experienced and educated crew that is phenomenal at setting up a car.
They've not only taken the cars to this unbelievable level where they've really maxed out the horsepower, 1,000 horsepower vehicles that are so crazy to drive, crazy to control. They've also brought along with them things that have developed them as a driver. I mean, these guys really are doing something that I don't think any other driver in the world can do. So when you marry those two things together, this is the result that you get. 10 years ago, there were 16 guys that ripped and 16 guys that didn't rip. Now there are 36 guys that are going to be here this weekend, 39 guys in total, that are absolute murderers. There are no gimmies. You know you're going to get tested. Doesn't matter if you're James Deane or you're the 39th ranked guy.
Ryan Tuerck, Jonathan Castro, we are ready to get at it.
Well, look at Tuerck here, right out to outside zone 1. Transitions to zone 2, beautiful job there. Gets all the way out to 3, touches the wall. He's really laying down a lead run, very similar to that. Got him that 98-point run in qualifying.
I'm just really pumped I went out there and laid down a really good lead lap, and Castro had a killer chase lap.
Great way to start the top 16. Can you feel it? Stomp your feet, Long Beach.
Castro knows he needs to lay down that 100-point run here. He had no choice but to lay down something incredible, and he starts off very strong. Just kisses the wall in outside zone 1. Oh, no!
Castro, big hit.
Tuerck must have been kind of having flashbacks to that time he did go in there in his GT86,
right.
But he did manage to avoid contact with both Castro and the tire wall.
Castro made a mistake, but we went for a ride, but it worked out. No big damage on the car, so it's all good.
Ryan Tuerck moves on to the Great 8.
That was a fun one.
That was gonna be a banger for us.
There is only 8 stops, so every single round counts for points and towards the championship. And if you have a bad event, it really sucks because you know that you have a lot of work to do if you're going to make it happen. You can't look long term. You have to look at what's directly in front of you. Qualifying, go rounds, battle by battle, get a podium, sip some champagne, boom, next one. And hopefully we can come to the finals with a shot at winning the championship.
Here we go.
Ryan Tuerck has something to prove, man.
You know, he ended up 3rd overall last year, just behind Matt Field. But look at Ryan Tuerck. He wants a championship. I mean, come on. That's a hard act to follow. I'm sorry, Hurst, but wow. Ryan Tuerck just punishing this track right now.
We always talk about a driver being able to put down a good qualifying run, but to be able to repeat it consistently throughout the event, Ryan Tuerck is proving today that he is able to do that. He's repeating the same run over and over in the lead position.
This is how it's going to be all season long. Jonathan Hurst, Ryan Tuerck, who's coming out on top.
So I just focus on my driving, my team, my car, getting the car set up, being comfortable, being fast, trying to run good tandem, and hope it all works out in your favor.
I mean, he's just on it. He is locked in like a tractor beam. Oh boy. Tangled up.
Hey, what happened? Oh, God fucking damn it. Fucking guy can't even get a fucking chase lap.
So Tuerck just a bit too aggressive in that final turn. So Jonathan Hurst takes out Ryan Tuerck.
Feels like it was taken away from us a little bit. It's so frustrating. That is so frustrating. You know, it's been so long of being kind of at the front of the pack and still not having a championship to put in my history books of my career is definitely disappointing. It's hard to separate what is. It's really hard to separate the pressure of the championship building on your shoulders to continuing to have fun and doing it for yourself and your sponsors and your fans and just going out there and having a good time and trying to keep a level head of like, hey man, you're pretty damn lucky you get to drive a 1,000 horsepower car and for a living. Like it's hard to keep that mental strength, you know. And I think that's been my downfall, where I just let the pressure build up and end up making a mistake like I did here at Long Beach.
Let me hear you make some noise. Stomp your feet. Make some noise. Formula Drift Long Beach. You loving this up or what? Come on.
Listen, you can do it. So we're doing it.
Now look at this. 3-time champion James Deane going against 3-time champion Fredric Aasbo. Ford Mustang versus Toyota Supra.
Yeah, it totally feels like a manufacturer shootout between Ford and Toyota. The Ford program with LZ, Chelsea, and James Deane, you know, you can tell that they're doing everything they can to get the best performance. And that's exactly what we want to compete against, where everybody's bringing out their A game.
Well, I'd be f***ing nervous had to go against us. Fucking kind of badass rock star.
Here we are seeing James Deane, Fredric Aasbo. This should be one heck of a battle. Come on, let's go. Freddie's got to step it up. He's not driving like I've seen Freddie drive before. He might be kind of ramping up, but he's got to do it now. Whoa, James Deane explodes that back bumper into that second outside zone. Now he goes into that third. He knows who he's going against. 2 good friends, 2 fierce competitors, and 6 championships between these 2 drivers. Wow. Holy banana cakes. Wow. This is a absolute gladiator battle right here.
James Deane returning to FD, arguably the best or one of the absolute best drivers in the world. So I knew I had to bring my A game.
Come on, guys.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Who's gonna get the win? Some exciting runs here. James Deane coming to us from Ireland, his family cheering him on. Well, guess what? He's got to look at the gold rear bumper of Fredric Aasbo.
We're just talking about James Deane and Fredric Aasbo. I think whoever of those 2, if either of them wins a championship, I have to think that you're going to say that that guy's the GOAT of Formula Drift.
Right. All right, so here we go. Fredric Aasbo, the second half of this battle, as James Deane was number 2 qualifier. Ryan Tuerck is out. Freddie Aasbo, 3-time champion. James Deane, 3-time champion. Who's gonna get the win? Who's moving on to the final 4? Freddie gets intimate with the wall. 1, 2.
And for me, it was one of those moments where I was able to step it up when it really mattered.
There's Fredric. He dialed in that third outside zone. That's what it's been escaping him all weekend.
Finished with a better lead run. He fell back. He didn't mirror you well. So there were bigger mistakes that you're not aware of while he was behind you. Copy that. Okay.
Who's gonna get the win? Who's moving on to the final 4? And Fredric Aasbo gets the win. Yes! Yes!
Good job, team.
That win was huge. It was huge for not only me, but the team.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one. The highlight of today was definitely the battle with James. I've been fighting to get those clean lead runs going all weekend, and we finally did it. I got to beat him. I got to knock him out. I heard he was pretty nervous, as was I. But imagine all the pressure coming in here and hoping for many battles like that, dude.
I know someone else who has pressure like that too.
Weird. Wait, who? In one sense, it's amazing seeing him back, but it's also great to be up there and able to beat him on days like this. My confidence is building. It's always tough for me to start off, but now I feel like I'm on an upwards trajectory.
Look at all these people, man. It's a packed house. It's sold out. You paid for the whole seat, but you're only going to use the edge. They're in the Pedal Commander Burnout box. Matt Field, Fredric Aasbo. This, again, is a grudge match. They saw battle last year, and it was pretty tumultuous for one of the 2 drivers. That was Matt Field. Freddie owned it. He felt bad.
I'm not gonna allow that to scare me from being aggressive out on track this year.
Are you guys ready to yell send it? Here we go.
Once we're out there on track, it turns into war.
Fredric Aasbo initiates, trying to get outside zone. He taps it. Matt Field spins and goes into the wall. Matt Field spins and gets caught up in the smoke.
You can see Aasbo just does a little tap and Field just over-rotates the car as he comes around through outside zone 1. We're reviewing the replay, and right as Aasbo's tapping the wall in outside zone number 1, his decel light comes on, which indicates a decel, which we don't want in that area, which then puts the fault on Fredric Aasbo.
The repairs were made. Matt Field and his team working to get him to the line. Fredric Aasbo, Matt Field, keep this energy going. Who's going to go against Rome in the finals?
Matt's kind of playing it safe here. You can see he's coming through the zones with angle, getting the car through the course.
Freddie applying the pressure. Can Matt Field get it done? Matt Field will get the win. Some redemption for Matt Field after last year.
It's funny, every time Matt and I meet up here, some sort of controversy happens, but being able to come out of it with a podium finish, it's a big relief.
I love the battles with Matt. He's so animated and aggressive and wears his emotions on his sleeves. He's very much the opposite of me, but we often find ourselves in these battles that are very defining for our careers and for the events we're doing. And he loves it just as much as I do. We need that sort of rivalry in sport.
Your winner, Matt the Beast from the Bay, Field!
Do I think the rivalry with Matt Field will continue? Yes, absolutely.
Guess what? Old Captain Clutch Kick is back.
We got to bring everything we got. Simple as that.
Oh, buddy! Banging doors, getting aggressive.
Pressure's back here. Do the pressure's back here. They're already calling me up.
It's just a freaking disaster.
Whoa! Are you kidding me? Look at that!
This one is a little tougher to swallow.